Imagine this. You're in a conversation with someone, and they suddenly say something like, "You're really into therapy, huh? I think it's a waste of time. It's all just a scam, and I don't see how it helps anyone." Now, how would you handle that? How do you respond when someone is rude, dismissive, or just downright negative? In today's video, we're going to dive into 10 powerful techniques that can help you turn any rude or uncomfortable conversation into one where you come out looking calm, confident, and respected. Stick around, and I'll walk you through simple strategies you can use the next time you face an awkward or rude moment. Most people overlook these strategies, but after watching, you'll have the tools to handle tough conversations like a pro. Let's get started with the first strategy. Tip 1. Set clear boundaries. Take a moment and picture someone you know who never gets rattled when confronted with negativity. They don't let themselves get dragged into unnecessary arguments. For example, when someone's rude to them, they simply say, "I'm not going to argue about this right now," and walk away. This shows that you don't have to get defensive to set boundaries. You just need to make it clear how you want to handle things, and that alone is enough to make people respect your space. Here's why setting boundaries works so well. When you focus on what you will do, rather than telling others what they should or shouldn't do, you avoid escalating things. Take a situation where you're asked a personal question that feels inappropriate. Instead of snapping back, you might say, "Hey, I'm not comfortable talking about that right now. Let's keep it light." This way, you're controlling the conversation by maintaining your boundaries without making anyone feel attacked. Tip 2. Non-engagement. Respond slowly and with sincerity. Have you ever been in a situation where someone throws a snarky comment at you and you have the perfect comeback ready to go, but instead of getting into a back and forth, you simply respond calmly and slowly? This tactic of non-engagement can be incredibly powerful. It disarms the situation without giving the other person the chance to escalate it. Think about how you might respond to someone who dismisses your opinion by saying, "That's just a waste of time." Instead of jumping in with an immediate rebuttal, you might pause and respond slowly with sincerity. Why do you feel that way? Giving them the space to share their perspective not only shows that you're listening, but it also shifts the focus back to their viewpoint, which can make them reconsider their harsh stance. Tip 3. Ask open questions, the power of curiosity. What if, instead of reacting defensively, you turned the situation around by asking an open question? This can be a game changer in tough conversations. When someone is rude or aggressive, they're often expressing frustration or misunderstanding. By asking questions like, "So, when you say therapy doesn't work, what makes you feel that way?" you invite them to share their reasoning. Open questions show that you're genuinely interested in understanding their perspective, not fighting back. This can help to disarm rudeness and even encourage respect because they begin to feel heard. Tip 4. Stay calm and controlled. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person's rudeness really starts to get under your skin? It's easy to feel defensive or tempted to snap back, but staying calm and controlled is key. When you manage your own emotions, you prevent the conversation from escalating. Even if the other person is acting out of line, remaining composed keeps the conversation on track. For example, if someone calls you out in a harsh way, instead of raising your voice, simply take a deep breath and maintain a steady tone. Tip 5. Use the I statement. Imagine someone questions you in a rude way, asking something personal or judgmental. Instead of responding with, "You shouldn't ask that," or "That's none of your business," you could use an I statement like, "I don't feel comfortable answering that right now." This puts the focus on your own feelings rather than accusing or blaming the other person. By using I statements, you express your feelings without sounding accusatory, and you can maintain a respectful tone while still asserting your boundaries. Tip 6. Empathy and validation. Picture this. Someone vents to you angrily about something, and instead of brushing them off, you say, "I understand why you'd feel that way. It sounds frustrating." By empathizing with their feelings, you're not excusing the rudeness, but you are showing that you understand their emotional state. This can help to soften the interaction. When you validate someone's emotions, even in a tense moment, it can change the course of the conversation. Tip 7. Humor as a diffuser. What if you could use humor to break the tension and diffuse the rudeness? Sometimes making a light joke about the situation can work wonders. Imagine someone criticizes your choice of clothing or something trivial. Instead of getting upset, you could laugh and say, "Hey, I guess I'm a walking fashion statement today." Humor, when done appropriately, can help you maintain control of the conversation while showing that you're not easily rattled. Tip 8. Redirect the conversation. When you find yourself in a conversation with someone who's being rude or overly critical, one effective strategy is to redirect the conversation. For instance, if they say, "This project is a disaster," you might respond with, "I understand your concern. What do you think we can do to improve it?" By redirecting, you're steering the conversation towards a more constructive and solution-oriented direction. Bob Greene, an expert in communication and negotiation, suggests that redirecting is a technique that can diffuse tension and foster collaboration. By shifting the focus, you convey a willingness to find common ground and work together, which can make the other person feel more valued and heard. Similarly, world-renowned psychologist Dr. John Gottman emphasizes the importance of redirecting in conflict resolution. He notes that people are more likely to listen and engage in a meaningful way when the conversation is directed towards positive outcomes. Redirecting is a simple yet effective way to build a bridge of trust, even in the most difficult conversations. Why does this work? Because people are more likely to cooperate when the conversation is focused on solutions rather than problems. By redirecting, you're creating a sense of unity in the conversation, which can turn a tense situation into a more cooperative one. Tip 9. Mirror their language, build rapport. Imagine you're having a conversation with someone who's being a little too harsh or direct, and instead of getting defensive, you subtly mirror their tone or choice of words. For example, if they say, "This project is a disaster," you might respond with, "Yeah, I see how it could be a challenge." By mirroring, you're showing that you understand their frustration without directly challenging them. Mirroring is powerful because it creates rapport. When you use similar language, tone, or body language, people feel like you're on the same page as them, which helps lower their guard. You're not agreeing with their negativity, but you're acknowledging it in a way that can help de-escalate the conversation. Why does this work? Because people subconsciously connect with those who seem to understand them. By mirroring, you're creating a sense of unity in the conversation, which can turn a tense situation into a more cooperative one. Tip 10. Focus on the solution, not the problem. Picture this. You're in a meeting, and someone starts complaining about a situation without offering any solutions. Instead of getting pulled into the negativity, you shift the conversation towards solutions. You might say, "I get that this is frustrating. What do you think we could do to make it better?" This approach works because it takes the focus off the problem and places it on actionable solutions. Instead of matching negativity with more negativity, you guide the conversation towards something productive. When you focus on the solution, you demonstrate leadership and control over the situation, which naturally garners respect. Here's why this works. It shifts the energy from complaining to problem solving, and people are drawn to individuals who take charge and find ways to improve things. So, next time someone brings up a problem, try steering the conversation toward how you can fix it. It can change the entire dynamic. Now that you've got these 10 powerful strategies to handle rudeness with confidence, it's time to put them into practice. Next time you're in an uncomfortable situation, use one of these techniques and notice how it changes the conversation. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who could use these strategies too. And drop a comment below. What's one situation where you've had to deal with rudeness, and how did you handle it? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.